Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Alex. So just gonna kind of do a quick update. Talk about my shot. Kind of messed up last time, and yeah, just like updates on what's going on with that. Something not related is that I got new glasses. So here they are. I think they look more masculine than my other ones did, just because they're more square. So, you know, I don't know. They're just plain on the sides. My other ones look like this. They had blue and circles on the sides, and they look like that. And I just feel like they were a little too feminine, so I got these, and they were only 40 bucks from Walmart, so I can't complain. Plus I have a backup pair, and they're covered for a year, so, you know, if I sit on them or stand on them or anything else and break them, they're covered. And it was a lot cheaper to get these than to actually order contacts, because for both of my eyes I have different prescriptions, so I'd have to get 2 boxes of contacts at $60 each. So $120, $40, you know, covered for a year. So yeah, got new glasses. I'm gonna take them off now because the glare is getting on my nerves. So anyways, did my shot last night, which was the night of the 12th. It was a Saturday. As most of you know if you've watched my videos, I moved my shot up 2 days after the first week, because Sundays I thought would be better, and so far they've worked great. It's worked great doing it on Sundays. But this coming up Sunday, the 20th, I'm getting on a bus at 8 o'clock in the morning with my criminal justice fraternity, and going to Memphis, Tennessee for a national competition. So I gotta get on the bus at 8, and we're gonna get there at like 7 or something like that, or no, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, at like 4 or 5, plus stopping to eat, so like 5 or 6, and then immediately after we have to go do something for national competition, so I wouldn't have time to do my shot until either really late that night, or I'd have to do it really early in the morning. So what I did is, instead of just moving it up to Saturday next week, I moved it up like 12 hours, or like 13 hours. That way I'm only moving it up 12 hours at a time, and then I'll just go back to, you know, Sunday after spring break, because the 20th is when my spring break starts, and I'll be in Memphis for a school thing. So, moved my shot up. I kind of messed up last night. I was going good, and I was like, alright, this isn't going to take long because I'm tired, I'm ready to go to bed, because I forgot to do it earlier than when I was just going to bed. And so I get everything ready, alcohol swab, and, you know, draw a needle on and draw the testosterone, and then, you know, pull the plungers, that way I get air in it so I can take that needle off, put my injection needle on, clean off the injection site again, and inject. Now, I missed a step in there, in case you didn't catch it, and that was I put my injection needle on and didn't push like the half a milliliter of air that I had in there. So I had like 3/4 of a milliliter of air, and I only noticed it before I started injecting, because I stuck myself and then went to pull back on the plunger to you know, make sure that I didn't see any blood, and I was like, that moved entirely too easily. Like, there should have been some resistance. I hate autofocus. So there wasn't that resistance, and so I looked down and I was like, oh crap. So I had to pull it out and get my testosterone up into the needle, and it didn't take me that long to inject myself the first time, because I was like, you know, I just need to get this done. Well, then I was like all worried about missing something or doing something wrong, and it was crazy. So it ended up taking me longer than I wanted it to, but it still didn't take me that long to do the second one. You know, so it wasn't that bad as far as time was concerned. So now I have 2 holes in my leg, and my leg doesn't like that at all. My thigh kind of hurt last night before I went to bed. I woke up this morning and it's just a little sore. I also put the holes relatively close to each other, so, because it was like in the same area, and I only missed the other one by like that much. So I'm hoping that doesn't matter. It's gonna autofocus again. So yeah, I got really flustered after I missed that step because I was like, oh crap, like, what do I do now? And I didn't know if I was supposed to replace the injection needle, um, because I was like, it's if there is any blood on it, it's my blood, and um, like I was gonna change it, and Celia was like, well, I don't think you need to, because anything that you're gonna inject into yourself is either one supposed to be there because it's yours, or two, it's supposed to, it's testosterone. So I didn't replace it. I hope I wasn't supposed to, but maybe that's why my leg hurts. I don't know. That's Celia's hands you see back there. She's doing dishes or something while I do this, and then we're gonna watch a movie, and then I gotta go to work. Death Race 2. So we watched Catfish last night, and that was really interesting. It was so predictable, yet I don't know. It was kind of interesting, but at the same time, it was like I know where this is going, and then it just like abruptly ended. So, and then before that, we watched SWAT Firefight. That was a good movie. So I'm hoping Death Race 2 will be good. And then, so yeah, changes. I am starting to notice acne more. I am using an apricot scrub every day, every time I take a shower. If I take a shower twice, I will do it twice, I don't care. I'll put lotion on my oil-free lotion on my face afterwards. It's supposed to be used for your face, apparently, because Celia has it. That's what she says. So, autofocus. This is really pissing me off because I can't. There's apparently like an update for my camera and I didn't install it, and so apparently that means I can't change the autofocus option. So yeah. Acne, sweat. Sweat's just like kind of. It's not like I'm sweating profusely all the time. Let's clarify. But it is like noticeable if I'm sitting here and then I get hot. Like I notice that like if I rub my hand like under my arm or something, I don't know, where there's a fold, then I'm like really sweaty and I'm like, that used to not happen really. And then what else? I'm convincing myself, like I've shaved before, and I've been shaving since like last December. No, the December before last. Like, just shaving my face every now and then to get the peach fuzz to go away. And I already had some, like, before I started that, I had a couple of, like, just darker than normal hairs, like, right in here. And then as I shaved, and now, I have darker hairs that grow in, like, all up in here. And I don't know if it's related to anything, but I'm convincing myself that they feel coarser, that my hair feels more coarse on my face. I don't really know if it does, but, like, it takes, like, I don't get a 5 o'clock shadow, but, like, a day later, I can tell that, like, there's darker hairs growing in right here, and it's just, like, right here, so, hopefully, within the next year, it starts growing everywhere else, too. So, yeah, haven't noticed a change in hair on my legs, or my arms, or my belly. Celia thinks that I have more dark hairs on my stomach than what I used to. Autofocus. And so she thinks that I have more than I did, but I really can't tell the difference. What else? My voice, I haven't figured out if it's dropped anymore, stayed the same. I'm gonna do a voice clip after this really fast, and hopefully there's some difference. This is just me talking normally. Update with family, everything's the same, pretty much. Dad's not talking to me still. My mom actually responded to a couple of texts I'd sent her because my phone's been acting up, and if I go to send a message and then go to contacts, it, like, will freeze up and I'll have to restart my phone and then do the same thing. Or I'll go to, like, I'll go to send it and it'll freeze, and so I'll keep hitting send trying to make it go, and it actually does send without saying sending, and so the person on the other end gets like 20 of the same messages. And I asked my mom if I could use our upgrade on our line, because we do have an upgrade, and her and Lonnie just got new phones, and my grandma's had the same phone for a while, but she doesn't want another one. So I was like, okay, can I use the upgrade? And my mom didn't reply. So I kept texting her about it. I tried to call her about it. So finally I talked to my grandma, and she was like, well, I'll mention it to her. So she mentioned it to her, and my mom's reply was, well, no, she's only had this phone for 6 months. And really, I've had it for like a year. And I was like, it's not the fact that I don't like this phone. It's the fact that it's not working right. So my mom finally replied to me, and because I was like, can I please use the upgrade? And she was like, are you taking hormones? And I'm like, I've already told you this, but okay. And so I just didn't reply. And I was like, hey, can I use the upgrade? She didn't reply. And I was like, hey, I'm going to the doctor on Monday because of shin pain. Because I've been getting really bad shin splints. Just like walking to class is really painful. And so I was like, I'm going to the doctor. And her reply was, are you on hormones? And I ignored it. So finally she asked me that. And I was like, you already know the answer to that. And she was like, well, have you already changed your name? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, you can go get your own phone with your own money, because I worked hard for my phone and I like it and I deserved it. And I was like, well, nobody's using this upgrade. And so after like texting her for like a good 45 minutes to an hour, just like seldomly texting her, she basically said no. And it came down to, I'm not going to support you unless you're going to be my daughter. And I was like, well, whatever. So we'll see how far that gets. The other thing that's kind of an update is that we had nominations for the criminal justice fraternity we're in. And so you had to get nominated for exec board positions that were going to be emptied because of people graduating or stepping down. And so I got nominated for historian because nobody else would do it. Basically what you do is you take pictures and you put them online. That's all you have to do. And so it was only going to be me running. Well, then the day of election, somebody opens the floor so that way they can nominate somebody else for it. And it was this guy that's only been here a semester. He's not even a full member yet. And so I'm like, whatever. I'm a photography minor. They should definitely vote for me. And so we get up there and we have to give a speech. So I'm like, look, a photography minor, not only will I take these pictures, but they'll be good pictures and I'll like doing it. It's my other passion. I like to shoot guns and I like to take pictures, and that's about it. I like LAE. And I was like, I've already I've already quit other things to be in this group. And so he's like, yeah, my first semester be more involved. And I go to all the study groups, which is a lie, because I've been to most of them, or half of them, and he wasn't there. He also talked about how he shoots and everything. And so he ended up winning. And at first I was like, well, that's alright, because I'm kind of like a quiet person, and he, it was just like, he's more outgoing than me, so I thought maybe that's what won him over. So I didn't really care. Now, a lot of the e-board and the faculty just kind of looked really confused whenever they said that he won. Well, then they had to open up nominations for secretary, because the secretary was going to be stepping down. And so nobody would do it. And I went around the table and I asked everybody sitting at the table, I was like, I will nominate you if you will do it. And I got to this guy Spencer and I was like, hey, can you not do that? It's going to be really loud on my video. I got to this guy Spencer and I was like, hey, I want to nominate you. If I nominate you, will it work? Babe. And so I, he was like, no, I don't have the time. I don't want to do it. I'm barely on campus. I work all the time. So I was like, Celia, alright, you're going to do it. I'm going to nominate you and whatever. And I was like, it'll look good on your resume, whatever. So I nominate her. Somebody seconds it, and then she accepts. Well, within 5 seconds, somebody's like, I nominate Spencer for secretary. Somebody seconded it, and he accepted it. And I was like, I looked at him, I was like, really? I just tried to nominate you. He was like, yeah, but you didn't announce it to everybody, and I would have felt bad if I would have said no. Okay. So he gets up there and talks about how she's not only in LAE, but she's in APS, which is the Honors Criminal Justice Fraternity. And, how she's organized, and she may work and go to school, but she's good at time management and everything else. This guy gets up there and says, I work, and I go to school, and I don't really have time for this. Yeah, that's it. And sits down. So, of course, there's an obvious winner there, if you ask anybody. But we come back in, and he won. Yeah. The guy that didn't... And whenever they said that he won, he was like, well, damn it. Like, I didn't want this at all. And so, they completely nominated two people that don't know what they're doing, didn't want to do it, just because they didn't want to vote for me and Celia. So, I see discrimination there, which it didn't really take me off whenever it was me that lost, but when Celia lost, I was like, okay, that was a clear based on discrimination. That's all that was. So yeah, but that's my rant for people being assholes, and that's my update, and that's all, and I'm gonna stop talking now because Celia's gonna wanna watch this movie, and we need to, because I'm gonna have to go to work soon. So yeah, that's it. Questions, comments, post them, message me, whatever. I check my YouTube every day, and normally don't have anything to check. So but yeah, that's it. Peace.